Hi, this is Ed, and we're currently in Templeton, California in my greenhouse. I thought I'd show you a few of my Miltonia orchids, which are currently blooming. It's early October. And if you really like the pansy orchids, the Miltonopsis, but are growing in conditions where it's a little too warm, they like really cool conditions, temperatures 80, 85 degrees or less, and I get into the 90s and a few days over 100 in this greenhouse. It's just too warm to grow the Miltonopsis pansy orchids. But a close relative, mostly from Brazil, are the Miltonias. And this particular hybrid, Bellglade, has been blooming for me for the last 6 months. It's got new flower spikes coming up now. Obviously several mature flower spikes fully open. Let me just show you the tag. This came from Carter and Holmes originally. And I'll just show you the tag, Miltonia Kibet Bellglade. And I've had this since 2013, so it's 12 years. And the fibrous roots are pretty much taken over the wooden slat basket. There was originally large chunks of fairly old oak bark that are from the trees on my property. And the roots have pretty much taken over. It gets misted with rainwater every morning, spring and summer, and hot days in the fall. Now that cooler weather, winter is coming, this will be misted maybe once a week when I see it drying out a bit. But just a great orchid, particularly, again, if you have warmer conditions and can't grow the traditional pansy orchids. So that's Bellglade, and has a really nice color combination. Let's see if I can focus in on the flowers a little bit. And this came from Santa Barbara Orchid Estate. And again, I've had this orchid for probably 10 years, mounted on oak, and this is Friday Harbor. And as you can see, very fibrous roots. They don't mind being exposed as long as you mist them daily, spring and summer. I do like growing tillandsias in the root zone of these orchids. It tends to keep the humidity up a little bit around the root zone. They don't really compete for nutrients. It just adds a little bit, I think, to the arrangement when you mount on oak. And then third Miltonia blooming now is clowesi, and this comes from Ecuagenera in Ecuador. And let's see if we can, we'll focus in a little bit on the flower. Just great color combination, the purple and yellow in the throat and the dark sepals banding. And again, growing on an oak branch. That's a ficus tree, ficus green gem in my greenhouse. And so this is growing in the fairly bright light, but shaded by the shade cloth, the illuminette on the greenhouse roof, as well as under the branches of the ficus tree. But again, fibrous roots, fully exposed, misted daily, spring, summer, and kept drier in the wintertime. But just a great little orchid, and can take temperatures as low as 42 in the winter for a few hours on winter mornings. And then temperatures 90, 95. A few days got to be 102 in here, but with the misting system on about every 2 hours, it stays on for about a minute, and that keeps the humidity up quite high. So those are the Miltonia orchids I wanted to show you. And again, if you're in an area where you can't grow pansy orchids, the Miltonopsis, because you get too hot in the summertime, these are great alternatives. So if you do get the opportunity and see a Miltonia, my recommendation would be to give it a try. They're great orchids, stay in bloom for a long period of time, and pretty resilient, as long as you let the roots dry out between watering and mist them spring and summer. I think you'll do fine. Thanks for watching.